We saw this one shot, and I'm sure it's all over social media, where after the second touchdown, Coach Saleh went to hug Aaron Rodgers. Aaron kind of pushed him away, had quite the eye glare, let me tell you. Are things cool between the two of them? They joked it off after the game. I mean, you see it right here. What do you think, Connor?
So, the thing about Aaron Rodgers when you get to know him is that he is fiercely competitive. I mean, he has no problem to anybody MFing them and telling them off just like he would players that aren't doing their jobs, coaches that aren't doing their jobs, anything like that. That's the type of person that he is. From my understanding, Robert Saleh has been on his you-know-what, Rodgers you-know-what, about finally getting this defense a two-score lead. That his whole thing is that we brought you in here, we want the two-score lead so we can unleash Will McDonald, unleash Takk McKinley, unleash our pass rush, and not have to worry about the run, make a team one-dimensional. We haven't seen that yet since basically Robert Saleh has been this team's head coach. So that, from what I understand and from what I've been told on and off the record, was Aaron coming up to Saleh, pushing him away and be like, there's your MF and two-score lead. What are you going to do with it? Like, that's what it was. Now, I'm not a lip reader. I don't know if that's actually what was said. I don't know if that's PR. I guess we'll find out later on. But that is the story the Jets are sticking to. And at least right now when they're winning, it's all fine and dandy to believe it.
Yeah, I think when you look at the moment, it did seem really intense. But if you go back in time and look at Aaron Rodgers in games like this, he has a habit of looking – the best way I can compare, especially for Mets fans, is it's like when Max Scherzer would pitch and nobody would go near him during a start. It's just that he's so locked in. And I think Saleh's a guy that is used to celebrating big moments. And something that stood out to me last night, and Connor, you brought this up in the presser, how they spoke about expectations. A lot of guys would have a big player score, and it was back to business. Garrett Wilson scored his touchdown. He handed the ball to the ref, and he ran right to the bench. They expect this. And I think Saleh, who has been through a lot over the years, it just felt like all the joy burst out at once. And for Rodgers, it was more of, no, we have a lot of work left to do, and we're not done here, and I'm not going to live in this moment. I'm already thinking about the next drive and what adjustments they're going to make and how I'm going to attack that. It's because he's one of the greatest quarterbacks of all time. While normally the human emotion is to kind of cherish that moment. So I think the overreactions were insane to it, but it's Aaron Rodgers. So anytime he's on television, the reactions are going to be pretty wild. And I think at the end of the day, it also showed a side of him that almost challenged Robert Saleh and said, we're doing our job. You're in charge of the defense with Jeff Ulbrich. Now go do yours. We did what you asked of us. Go do yours, and we're going to keep answering the bell. And everybody answered the bell last night.
All right, well, that's a great
segue.
Connor,
Connor touched upon this really, really well, is that, Robert Saleh, he's gotten a lot of criticism on radio stations, podcasts from the fan base about not being more emotionally charged on the sideline, that when things are going bad, he's kind of just pacing back and forth. He's not screaming and yelling. They all want to know where the screamer yeller from San Francisco is. I've talked to Robert about this multiple times, and he said, dude, I scream and yell when things go well. I'm not a big screamer or yeller when they're not. We haven't had too many things to be super happy about. And I think in that moment for Robert, it's hard to put into words just how much pressure this regime has been under from ownership, from players, things not going their way, the fan base, being told they suck and they're no good, believing they are good. They're just one piece, the quarterback, away from truly reaching their potential. I think what you saw a little bit there against San Francisco, and then you saw more against the Titans, and then you really saw it against the Patriots, even if they are not any good, was it all coming together where you have the offense that is scoring 3 touchdowns in a third consecutive game to begin this season for the first time maybe since the Lincoln administration. Then you have a defense that's being ferocious and attacking it and all coming together, and that joy sorry, my mom's calling me. I thought it was going to be our producer, Jeff, and being like, what's he worried? Like, did I lose my mic? Did I lose my audio? Something like that. I was like, no, it's just my mom. So it was like one of these things where...
Say hello to your mom.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah, real invigorating TV here. It all finally coming together and that emotion coming out of Robert and Aaron pretty much being like locked in, no, job's not finished yet. No, we're not done yet. Yeah, we're up, but that doesn't mean anything right now. And that's a good thing to have. That's a good thing. I know people are going to, anything Aaron does, they're going to jump on him and want to drag him through the mud. This is not one of those things to drag him through the mud. It's a fiercely competitive person being fiercely competitive.
I mean, we all saw the Michael Jordan document. I'm going to go back to that. You saw how fiercely competitive and how he acted. So that's just the way it is.